Hey everyone, JD here. Today I wanted to do a discussion video about the post 5.3.0 gameplay experience and particularly how Circle of Healing affects it. Because I've been playing a couple matches and things feel a lot different now. I've been playing for about a year, and in that time, there really hasn't been anything. Even the Ruin Undying nerf when that came out wasn't as impactful to the games that I played as this new patch. So I wanted to go over that real quick. And the biggest thing that I think has changed is that the hit and run style kind of play styles and the 12-foot kind of play styles are now significantly harder to pull off than they were before. This is an example of a build that I might use. In fact, I used it in a video that I'm about to publish either today or tomorrow. And it's got, the basic stuff. It's got barbecue. Everyone loves barbecue. Corrupt is a pretty decent slowdown perk. Enduring and Make Your Choice both have value in Chase, and they make you a lot stronger, but what I found is that it really doesn't matter. And I don't really know if this is a function of I'm used to being able to end chases sooner than the 20 seconds you get by default when a survivor runs away and runs in a straight line, and you run in a straight line after that, because I'm facing better survivors after whatever MMR adjustments they've done, or if it's just the fact that healing is now so powerful that even with all of these things on my side, none of these perks can carry me past Circle of Healing. And I'll talk a little bit later about that. But and again, these are with my best killers, where I'm used to being able to keep everyone injured and then control the game and get downs, slug if I need to, but not even really slug as principal, because it's not really that fun to play. It's more fun to play go after someone, chase them, down them, go after another person, and if you're good at it, you can get 8 or 10 of those in a game. If you're bad at it, you can get 4 or 5. But lately, that variability has shifted way to the low end of the 4 to 5. Even when I play good, if I play good, it's now like 6 to 7. And I think the big reason for that is healing, which is that the Boon Totem Circle of Healing has buffed healing so intensely and so visibly that now everything that everyone was running is healing builds, and to a lesser degree stealth builds if they've got Shadow Stab, which doesn't help, but given how you normally want to play a nice, straightforward 12-foot game, where you go after someone, you down them, you hit someone, or you spread the pressure a little bit, and then you start downing injured survivors, the fact that Circle of Healing not only affects 4 people and making their heals faster, but it also encourages everyone to bring medkits and stuff like that to make it faster, means that you can't chase after someone and go on a nice chase without every single survivor always being healed up afterwards. And that's that's a little rough, because it means that you can't commit to chases, but you also can't not commit to chases. You can't break off and go after someone, because if you go after another person after you've already injured someone, the other person will just heal up in 5 seconds with Circle of Healing. And if you go after the Circle of Healing, then that's basically worse than doing anything. That's worse than either of those options, because then you have to go out of your way to smash the totem, and then the other person gets away. They'll find someone else to heal them, and then it's kind of the same exact thing. And I think the way that the math breaks down is a little rough, and I think shows that Circle of Healing might be a little bit too strong, because if it takes you 16 seconds to bless a totem, that's one survivor taking 16 seconds. But that doesn't require anyone else to do anything, and it affects the entire team. So you could almost say that it's like it costs, that's the equivalent of costing everyone 4 seconds, but also it saves everyone 8 seconds on a heal. So that's just free time. Like, it is definitely a good idea to bless as many totems as you can. And if you're the killer, the fact that when you break it, it costs 2 seconds. That's 2 seconds that you're not chasing anyone. So that's kind of 8 seconds of pressure that you've lost on the whole map, which is, is still less than what the survivor is putting into it. But as soon as you take into account like 1 heal, the survivor has gotten already value out of that. 2 heals, and like it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. And the fact that you can't actually break it in the way that survivors can break your totems is, I think, what is the worst. Because, all of this would be fine arithmetic if when you snuffed out a totem, it broke the totem, and they just couldn't use that totem, and they had to find another one to bless. But the fact that they can just keep going over and doing it and giving themselves value, because again, if you hit them, even if you catch them in the act, you hit them and they run away and they take you on a 30-second chase, someone else can heal in 8 seconds, and someone else can heal in 8 seconds, and then even if you down that person, you're right back to where you started. Like and there's still been one person working on a generator for 30 seconds, so you've lost 30 seconds because the survivor has committed to it. It just doesn't feel like there's a ton of counterplay, or there's a ton of ways around that, other than just like pumping slowdown, pumping out anti-heal. So how do you counter Circle of Healing if it's making healing so strong all of a sudden? And I've thought about this a little bit, and obviously you have to roll out the things that used to work but really don't now. Ruin Undying basically is not effective anymore, because survivors are encouraged to go after your totems anyways, and then once they do, it just flips the advantage. So even having them in the first place is almost like a glowing beacon to say, hey, make my life worse as a killer by removing the things that I have going for me. Pop Tinkerer is honestly just feels so slow. It feels like right now, because of how fast they can heal, you need to get downs and chases immediately, because if you don't, then Tinkerer will happen, you'll go over there, and then it doesn't matter. Like, survivors know that they can take hits to finish generators because they're not afraid anymore. They know they can heal in 8 seconds or faster, even if they have a teammate healing them, or if they have a good med kit or something like that. So you can go up to a generator that's at 70% with Tinkerer, and by the time you get there, there'll be 2 survivors on it. They'll just eat whatever hits you have. They're not going to let you use pop. They're not going to let you use oppression or anything like that. I think Tinkerer pop is not as strong as it needs to be in order to keep up with healing. So I honestly think that what might end up being a build that people are going to run from now on, or at least for the foreseeable future, is actually Corrupt Deadlock. Because I think those have the most consistent chances of blocking survivors from doing gens in the first place, and giving you just a little bit of extra time. In fact, I think as much as Corrupt is really good, and everyone knows how good Corrupt is, especially at tier 3, Deadlock I think might actually be the star of this, because guaranteeing that you have 30 seconds to chase someone without the next gen popping is going to be huge. Because in most of my games where I'm chasing someone around, they're doing good survivor things, they're dragging out the chase a little bit. I will have 2 or 3 gens pop at the beginning of the game before I have, 1 or 2, when I have 1 or 2 hooks. And just the fact that this can stop that, this can actually give you a second to take a breath and say, all right, do I need to be defending a 3 gen over here? Do I need to be committing to that generator? I think that could be the most reliable and consistent thing in the future. And then after that, you have some sort of info perk, Barbecue, Lethal Pursuer, and then Jolt as a slowdown, Jolt or Pop, because I think you paired Pop with Deadlock and Corrupt. Oh, wait, I'm in a game. Okay, no, Dead by Daylight just kicked me out to the menu. Anyways, my point stands. If you have something like Oppression, Jolt, Surge, I'm still not used to that. Oppression, Jolt, Pop Goes the Weasel, something like that to slow down it again. That could maybe keep up with his healing, because right now there's not a lot else that I can see that really stands up to it. Survivors are just really emboldened to heal, and I think Ottstarver did a video a little while ago about how healing is like the strongest thing in the game. Way better than toolboxes, way better than flashlights. Flashlights are more fun, but, healing is like the most reliable way of keeping yourself alive and dragging out the game so that the killer gets as little value as possible. So hopefully Behavior will take a look at this and see if Circle of Healing is maybe a little bit too strong, if maybe the interaction where survivors can just re-bless a totem after you snuff it out is a little bit too strong, and maybe have killers break it a little bit. But until then, I think it's going to need to be super slowdown central, because just having lots of info doesn't really help. You need to end chases quickly. Survivors are good at playing around exposure perks at higher rankings, so let me know what you guys think, if that's a build that you like, if you think that Circle of Healing is too overpowered, if you think that it's not powerful enough. If you disagree, I would love to hear why, so post that stuff in the comments below. That's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.